I'm attorney Justin Clark. Join me every Saturday here for You Have Real Estate, where we're going to tour some awesome properties together, and I'm going to keep you up to date on exactly what is going on in Central Florida's real estate community. It's going to be amazing. It's You Have Real Estate. And welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or even looking to sell your house, this next 30 minutes is designed just for you. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, but with my attorney advice throughout the way. If you have any questions whatsoever, I have people standing by right now to answer them. All you have to do is call this phone number, 407-205-0400. If you want to start the house hunt this weekend, buy that dream home, you will need that pre-approval letter. Dallas Lehman with You Have Mortgages standing by as well. Very same phone number, 407-205-0400. You won't want to miss a second. Great show for you today. But first, it's time for the opening statement. Today on the program, we're going to hit three major topics, very important topics, considering what we're living through right now. First, we're going to tour some awesome houses, no doubt about that. But second, we're in another real estate crisis, as you know. We're going to ask one of the largest REO agents, meaning one of the largest realtors who represented the banks back in the foreclosure crisis, if we're going to go back to the foreclosure levels that we saw in 2008, 9, 10, 11. Are we having another foreclosure crisis? That is the question. Number three, you may be furloughed. You may have been fired from your job, or maybe you're working from home now and you cannot stand the thought of going back to work for that evil boss. You just can't stand the thought of going back to that office again, and you're thinking about a career change. Maybe real estate is for you, but it's not as easy as you think. We're going to really get down to the nitty-gritty of what it takes to be not just a realtor, but a successful real estate agent. It's all just ahead. Don't miss a minute of it. But first, a special offer from our very good friends at IQ Power Solar and Mecca Builders. Again, IQ Power Solar is promising to pay your electricity bill this month and your solar payments for the rest of the year if you go solar. This costs you not a penny down. We can take your electricity bill from $500, like mine was, down to $30 a month. Or if your electricity bill is $200, you might pay $5 a month for your electricity bill from now until the rest of the time that you own this house. Also, as part of the same package, Mecca Builders are going to come in and replace your roof, and all of this will cost you $0 down. I'll hook you up right now with IQ Power Solar and Mecca Builders at 407-205-0400. My good friend Stephen Bader tells you how he took my electricity bill from $500 to $40. Steve, take it away. Live here on site with the COO of IQ Power Solar, Stephen Bader. I already had solar installed on my house. I wanted to see his crew in action against Steve. You must admit, this is the most talented crew in all of solar.
I'm pretty happy with it.
The guys are doing a great job up there, obviously, professional. I mean, solar can have some people and some businesses that aren't so good. What separates IQ Power Solar?
Well, it's really valuable to have your own install crew instead of subcontractors, et cetera. So these guys work together year after year. They've done a lot of trainings together. Every time there's a new product that comes to market, they go to manufacturer trainings. We're actually a warranty center for a lot of manufacturers, which is really cool, and it distinguishes us, especially when it comes to servicing. But really, it's just about cohesiveness. You know, these guys, they get here in the morning, they review the engineer drawings together. Sometimes they review the drawings in the office on a chalkboard environment when there's problems and stuff like that. But they lay it out and then just execute. So it's really cool when they have a lot of experience together, just like anything else.
There's something to be said for one truck, two trucks, three trucks, all with the logo on there. Everyone has the same shirt, IQ Power Solar. I mean, this is a real professional organization.
We try.
And Stephen Bader, IQ Power Solar. Thanks for coming out today.
Of course.
And now it's time for real questions. Each Saturday here on You Have Real Estate, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. Today on the show, it's Jay Talenda with eXp Realty and Jennifer Allen with Core Realty. repeat visitors.
Yes.
Great to see you both. How are you?
Good to be back.
Thanks
Man,
for having us.
Jay, let me start with you here for a second. You and I lived through 2008 together. We were all high on our horse in 06, all killing it. And then 08 came around and boom, it was a crash. And, in retrospect, we all saw it coming. But really, Jay, it happened fairly quickly.
It happened like that.
I've been saying for the longest time we're not going to have another crash like that for many, many years. But I didn't predict the coronavirus either. I mean, what is your prediction? What's going to happen with real estate in Central Florida over the next 3, 4, 5 months?
Oh, it's going to be soft. I mean, for sure. And I don't know if it's going to stay that way. I don't have that crystal ball either. But I do know it boils down, it begins with jobs. So people will need to regain their employment. They'll need to replenish their savings account and then hopefully restore the confidence they had in the real estate market. But it's a long road ahead. This isn't... It definitely will soften, and it depends how all those work out, how it all shakes out, and when it shakes out.
Yeah. You were known as one of the biggest REO agents in town, but people don't know what REO really means. When someone says you're an REO agent, what does that mean exactly?
So I work with banks, institutions. So it could be banks, government agencies, insurance companies, hedge funds. And I did two things. I would, one, help work out the non-performing loans. So if somebody was in default, I would help them either through a short sale, loan modification, refinance. And if the property ended up being foreclosed upon, I represented every national bank and government agency in the United States.
Got it. So let's say that I am having trouble paying my mortgage payments now. I own my house. I got furloughed. I literally just don't have enough money to pay my mortgage and feed my family. What do you think I should do?
Reach out to your lender. If you have a conventional loan right now, there's 6 months deferral. So they'll defer your payment. Be careful with that. Don't take advantage of it because at some point that money does come due. If it's an FHA loan, they will also allow you up to 12 months.
Really?
You could also ask for what's called a forbearance, where they take your payments that are due now and they'll put them on the back of your loan. So that way you don't have a lump sum coming due in 90 days or 180 days. So just be careful. It's not free money, but it will definitely get you through this time.
At my firm, we would always see a spike in foreclosures after a hurricane because the banks would call and say, oh, we understand you're in a disaster area. We want to help. Here's 90 days, no problem. But then after 90 days, they would say, you owe us all 3 months all at once.
Right.
So are there key words I need to be asking for to make sure it's not one of these deals where I got to pay all 90 days at once?
Yeah, so you want to do what's called a forbearance.
Okay.
Yep.
So ask for forbearance specifically.
Ask for a forbearance. That puts it on the back end.
Are they giving away like candy now, or how hard is it, you think?
You have to provide evidence that you're suffering a job loss or some kind of financial decline. But that's easy to do today. Nobody's questioning the impact that the virus has had.
Yeah. I think that banks hopefully are working with you now more than they ever have in the past, and they're not going to pull a fast one on you. So, look, when it comes down to a decision between paying your mortgage or paying your HOA, you're going to pay your HOA first. But certainly if it becomes a decision paying your mortgage or putting food on your table, put food on the table at the end of the day, right?
We'll be able to work through this.
Yeah, exactly. Jay, I'll come back to you in just a second too. But Jen, welcome back. First of all, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, I think a lot of people are at home right now, whether their job has been taken away, or maybe they're sitting there thinking about how much they hate their boss and how much they've enjoyed being away from their boss, and they're thinking career change. And then they see you as a realtor. Number one, how hard is that exam? Like, how do you actually become a licensed agent?
You have to go to a school. You can either do it online, or there's schools here in Orlando that you can go to. They offer like 1 week classes, weekend classes. I did the 2 week. Once you pass the class test, then you have to take the state exam, which is, in my opinion, very difficult. Yeah. I'm not the best test taker ever, but I did it, and if I can do it, you can do it. But it's a lot of, once you get your license from the state, you have to pick a broker, and that's where a lot of fees can come into place. Now if your broker's with NAR, the National Association of Realtors, there's a fee on top of that because you have to become a member. Then you've got ORA if you're in Orlando, which is the Orlando Regional Real Estate Association, which is where we get our MLS and our lock boxes and stuff like that. So that, you incur fees there as well. So it can be quite expensive to start out. So
all the little fees certainly add up to a significant amount of money. So number one, It's not like you're just going to roll in there and say, okay, sign me up here, and all of a sudden you're a realtor. There's a process you have to go through.
Sure.
But describe the actual test for me. I mean, do you log in from your house and boom, 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 you're done? Or how do you actually physically take the test?
You have to go to, what was it, Pearson View.
Oh, yeah.
Has it here. It's right here in Lake Mary. There's a couple all over the place. But you have to go to an actual testing site because there's cameras and...
Is it multiple choice? How does it work?
It's multiple choice, yeah.
And
multiple choice.
What kind of score do I have to make?
I think you have to have a 70 on the, 70 on the class, 75 on the class exam, and then a 70 on the state exam.
So, but it's not super easy either. I mean, these are tough questions.
It's very difficult. There's 100 questions, and 10, I think, are math, so.
But then you pass the test finally. I mean, I think it gets way more difficult from that point forward because, again, I think that a lot of people believe you realtors literally just go show a couple properties on a Sunday and then the rest of the week it's a party, right?
Yeah, I mean, because you've got to go through training. I mean, whenever you go to class, they're teaching you the law. They're not teaching you how to actually, what you need to do in the field.
Right.
So that's what your broker, that's why you choose your broker, and they help you figure that out. But it could take 3 months, 6 months, I mean, in some cases a year before you actually start making money. So,
exactly.
Unless you have something aside.
And not only make money, I mean, you're expending money, Jay, too.
Exactly.
Again, like with the MLS, like Jen's talking about. I mean, how many months of savings would you recommend someone have in the bank before they go start this new career as a real estate agent?
No less than 6.
Yeah. That's what I was
Ideally
gonna
12.
say. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
less than 6.
Yeah, exactly.
It just doesn't have to build that business. Educate yourself on the market.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That test does not teach you about property values,
Exactly.
neighborhoods.
It's literally, it's law and that. It's,
I just want to be really clear with you that I can understand this career change. And I'm not saying don't do it, but I need to let you know that it's not like going to get a job at the Home Depot where you clock in and you're getting $15 an hour right out of the gate. No one's going to pay you anything. In fact, you're paying money out to become an agent, and it takes some time. I mean, there's a lot of realtors out there fighting for the same piece of business. I mean, you really have to work hard at it. And then, okay, so fine. I decided to do it, guys. Describe the life of a realtor, a successful realtor.
prospecting.
A lot of boxed wine. No,
Exactly.
I'm joking.
Exactly.
It's 24/7 because
24/7.
it relies on you answering your phone, being there, and you have
Being
clients
present.
that are stressed out of their mind,
Right.
And they forget that it's 11:30 at night and that you might have a life yourself
Sure.
or be
Exactly.
in bed.
Yeah.
And it's all about
I don't
answering
think
the
they
phone.
forgot. I think they don't care. Let's be honest here.
Exactly.
And then you spend a lot of time keeping up to date on what listings are out, which ones have sold, what the current values are, what the trends are, and then also financing. Financing guidelines change all the time, so you're constantly doing
Learning,
continuing
yeah.
ed and keeping abreast for your
Right.
client. Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, to be successful, you have to work very, very hard. It's not, you see the realtor out on a Sunday or Saturday showing properties. Trust me, they're working all week long. It's not a party the rest of the week to be a successful agent. Now, you can be a part-time agent if you want and do whatever you want, maybe a rich husband or something. But to really make money in the real estate world takes a ton of work. Jay, like we were talking on the radio just before this show, the Southwest pilot, right? He goes to the airport, flies for 3 days, comes back. As soon as he lands the plane, he doesn't think about work again until he goes back there. A realtor, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they have to live and breathe this stuff.
It's
You
like a
have
second
to.
marriage.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
seriously, it's
It
like
is.
being married.
No doubt about it. So, all right, I want to show some properties, guys. We'll get back to this in a second, but you have some awesome properties that I want to help you take a tour of. And if you have questions about these properties, you want to make an offer, you want to go see them, the phone number is very simple, 407-205-0400. And let's say that I'm a little bit worried about getting out right now because of the virus that's going around. Are we doing anything to protect the listings and are there things I can do to still go see the properties but still be protected?
So
Sure.
we use sanitizer, gloves, masks,
Yeah.
and we only let one family in at a time.
Right.
We're very careful about the touch, how many touch points there are, and then we
Right.
sanitize afterwards.
Yeah.
Sure missing those cookies at the open house, huh?
Me too. I know.
All right, Jen, let me start with you here. You're going to take us to 680 Morning Drive. Where is this property?
This is in Lake Mary. It's in Cardinal Oaks, which is right off of Country Club. Okay. This house is actually really special. It's 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, but it has 2 master suites downstairs. It's really cool. Awesome. It's about 3,945 square feet, which is big. So almost 4,000 square feet. It's only been on the market for 10 days. So, and we've had some showings as well. So it's on a large lot. It's about a half an acre, and it also has an oversized garage. I think it's about 700 square feet. It also has boat parking. It's beautiful. It's a really.
Does it come with the boat?
I know. I wish.
What is it?
We might be able to work that in there.
What is the price point on this one?
This one is $595,000.
$595. I mean, that's a pretty big house for $595, and then with the interest rates where they are, the payment on $595 is really not as bad as you would think. Jay, I mean, I can add up in my head pretty quickly.
About
I think
$2,600
Yeah,
or so?
$2,600
Yeah.
to rent this house, to rent that size of a house. You're $3,500,
$4,000.
$4,000
$4,000
easily
every month. Yet you could own it
for
significantly less than that. If you'd like to see this property, 407-205-0400. Are you finding some people just wanting to take the virtual tour now because of what's going on? Or are people generally going to see the houses still?
I mean, it's not like this one that I have in Heathrow Woods. It's vacant, so but people they're not afraid.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of showings on it, so that's been good. Some people are and some people aren't.
And speaking of Heathrow Woods, great neighborhood, obviously up in the Markham Woods corridor area, kind of the Longwood, Lake Mary area up there. Great location. I know it well. 1611 Bridgewater Drive. Tell me about this one. So
this one actually is on a big piece of property. It's 1.25 acre.
Whoa.
It's really, really nice. It's 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It's 3,881 square feet. It has a swimming pool, travertine floors. It's a comfortable feeling home when you go inside. So it's nice. And plus the lot is
That's a
really
big
nice
lot.
in Heathrow Woods. Yes.
Very big lot. Now, what's the price point on this one?
This one is $899,000.
And if you know this neighborhood, this is sort of Heathrow on steroids, so to speak. This is the upgraded Heathrow across the street. It's probably about the least expensive property you can get
I think it is right
Heathrow
now.
Woods.
Might be.
Gated community too. I know that. I know it well. It's a great spot. And this one's vacant. So if you'd like to go see this property, again, I'll hook you up with Jennifer Allen right now. 407-205-0400. Now, Jay, you have a property you want to show me as well. 15987 Sweet Lemon. Where is this?
Sweet Lemon is in the Hamlin area of New Horizon West, which is it's a suburb of Windermere. So it's in the southwest quadrant of Orlando, where most of the new home development and construction and growth have taken place over the past 7 years. This one's 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath, just under 2,600 square feet. It's newer construction, very upgraded, quartz counters, the flooring, the window treatments. It's located at the end of a cul-de-sac with golf course views on the other side. Lots of shopping and dining in the area, and easy access to 429. So you could take 429, hit the 4, or you could go up and be in Maitland in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And this one is listed, where we at, 449,900. And as I said, newer construction. It was built in 2018.
I know this area pretty well, actually. My understanding is for that area, this is sort of the place you can still get a really good bang for your buck, yet it's still close by. Is that kind of accurate?
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously you're not going to get this house in Windermere for under 500 grand, you know?
No, if this was in the town of Windermere, this would be about 650.
Wow.
So,
I mean, even if it's in Dr. Phillips, it's probably...
Dr. Phillips would be about 550. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
If you'd like to see this property, Jay Talinda will show you right now. 407-205-0400. I know we don't have any crystal balls here right now, guys. But values of houses. Now, I've sat here and preached for a year now that they're not going to go down. They might soften a little bit. But again, I didn't know that we were going to have the coronavirus come take over the globe. What do you predict is going to happen over the next 6 months? Jen, let me start with you.
Gosh, I mean, like you said, it's going to soften. I mean, the interest rates, I think, are going to maybe go up a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. I really, honestly, because of all of this, everything's so up in
Uncharted
the air.
territory.
Yeah, it's so hard to know what's going to happen next. So,
Jay?
I think it's going to soften with the loss of employment, and lots of people have lost a lot of their savings and retirement funds, and the confidence. People are nervous right now.
Right.
Now, once they get back to work, it changes the mood, and people quickly forget about the past.
Right.
And in this case, it sounds like we're going to be getting back to work in phases. It's not going to be hit the light switch on April 30th. Everybody's back to normal.
Right.
It's not going to work that way. And this is going to take many months. If you think about it, for the distancing,
Sure.
social distancing, companies are going to have to change their layouts of the restaurant, the protocol. They're going to have to hire in phases. And so, this is not a quick road. This is going to take at least a year or two. And especially, even though we've only been down about 30 days or so, it compounds. So if you're down for 30 days, it takes most people 6 months to be able to get back on their feet, and another year to save up their money again.
Right.
So I think it's going to be soft. The rates are low.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great time to buy. I'm seeing price reductions. If you can buy right now and save money versus renting, then even if we went into recession, so what? Because in a recession, the rents go up. So if you got into trouble, you can always rent it out and actually make a profit. This is a great time to buy and to sell.
For sure.
You can hold it. It is going to be soft, and we'll see what happens in 6 months.
yeah.
I like to see what the builders are doing. And by builders, I mean, you're driving down the street and you see the big piece of land where they're throwing up all the houses together. They got the flags in front. The big builders. I like to see what they're doing price-wise. Jay, I know you work with a lot of builders down there. What do you find they're doing right now?
So right now, there are some builders that will not even begin construction until they're under contract, which makes sense. That's sound. I'm seeing price reductions right now ranging between 10 and 15%, and it's a combination of reduction in price or concessions. The builder will offer upgrades or closing cost credits, things like that to get their inventory sold. They're also buying down interest rates to entice buyers in, and there's activity. I go through the developers. We have a lot of development in New Horizon West, and I'm there every
like
week.
crazy out there,
And
for sure.
and there is activity. They are, in fact, I talked to a builder yesterday, 54 contracts over the past week.
Wow.
Now, every time I'm there, the phone's calling and there's some cancellations because somebody just got furloughed. They lost their job.
Right.
So those will not all close, but it just shows, even though they may not all close, there is a high level of interest.
Yeah.
Jay Talinda, EXP Realty. Jennifer Allen, Core Realty. I'm not letting you go yet. I just wanted to say thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you.
good
Thanks for having
information.
us.
And now, without further ado, it is your part of the program. It's time for the Real Estate Roundtable. Each Saturday here on You Have Real Estate, we answer your questions from throughout the week. And if you have questions, go to our Facebook page at You Have Real Estate, and you can ask me a question right there. And we might just answer your question next week here on You Have Real Estate. All right, let's go to John in Sanford. Should I remove my house from MLS now? Jen, what do you think? I think they're saying, should I just stop selling my house?
No. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't see any advantage to that.
Right, right.
Yeah, no.
Right.
So
as long
I
as it's still price rate, the interest rates are low. I mean, if people are still looking, people
Well, and it
still
depends
are
on
wanna
the
buy.
motivation too.
Yeah.
Now it'd be
Exactly.
different if he lost his job.
Right.
Then it might be better to hold it,
Right.
right?
Right.
You know.
Right.
But if everything else remained the same,
Exactly.
no, keep going.
Are there a certain amount of days that I want to leave the house on MLS before it starts to look weird to buyers?
That's a great question. Right now, it's my understanding that MLS has stopped counting the days on market from the time of the shutdown.
Oh, really?
So that's
Yeah.
not going to have any impact.
Wow.
Which is great.
That's actually
Yes.
pretty smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's say we didn't have the virus. Is there a certain amount of days that it starts to look funky?
Usually after what, 80, 90?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if that hasn't sold by then, there's a problem.
Right.
Edgar and Kissimmee, are we going to have another foreclosure crisis? I know we addressed that a little bit. What do you think?
I think that there will be, I'm not sure that it will be as deep or span as long as the last time. I do think that there is going to be a crisis, and it will probably start to hit in about 45 days, and then will worsen over the next 6 to 8 months. But after that, it's anybody's guess how long it
Right.
goes and how widespread
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
definitely not going to be like it was in 2006 or 2008.
I agree. I mean, I think that there's going to be so much bailout money and help to the general public who does get behind on their mortgage this time, where in the past, it was really, you got to work with your mortgage company. And if you can't figure it out, you can't do the loan mod, they're going to foreclose on you. I think that the government's really going to have a little bit more stern hand with the mortgage companies and make them work with you. That's why I don't see as big of a foreclosure crisis. Also, lending-wise, we've had much stricter rules over the last 10 years where people in the houses are more qualified, where, again, someone making $10 an hour in 2006 could buy $1 million house. And it just hasn't been like that lately, So I don't
there's
think...
a good chance that they'll bring manufacturing, or at least certain sectors of manufacturing, back to the U.S., which will help with the employment.
Exactly right.
I mean, you've got Amazon building, a new distribution center in DeLand. Plus, you've got all of this other, new commercial buildings. They're building the 850,000 square feet next to Deloitte and all of that. So
absolutely, Stevie in Castleberry, is now a good time to buy.
Absolutely. Are you kidding? Rates are hovering in the threes.
Exactly.
Yes, now is a great time to buy.
I think so, and I agree with these guys. I mean, the rates make all the difference in this sort of thing, because maybe the value of your house isn't going to skyrocket over the next year or two, but no one can ever take that interest rate away from you. As long as you're not doing a 5.1, which we're probably not recommending right now, you get a 3.5 rate, you can keep that forever if you want.
Right.
No one can ever take that away from you. That's why I think it's a fantastic time to buy. Jason in Winter Garden, do you see a drop in market value coming in Central Florida?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Not a devastating.
Right. I mean, so I've seen some houses that have been priced a little high and they've come down, but it was just really, we don't have a lot of inventory, so there are a lot of people that are looking, and these houses that are on the market are selling. They're selling pretty fast. I mean,
inventory's low.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I'd say probably drop around 10 to 15%.
Yeah.
That sounds about right to me, too. I think when we sit here at the end of the year, we'll be down maybe 10, maybe 15%. I mean, really a stretch, maybe 20%. But then I think they're going to come back to, once we get back to normal over the next year or two. So I think now is a great time to buy. I would not stress about real estate as your investment right now. Don't do anything crazy. I don't think the real estate market here is going to do anything nuts like it did in 2008, 9, 10, 11. I think that you were safe, and I think it was great to see you two.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Jay Tolinda,
Thanks, it's
Jennifer
fun.
Allen,
Always
thanks
fun.
for coming in here. But most importantly, thank you for joining us here today. If you'd like to have your house featured on our show, give me a call, 407-205-0400. Also, if you want to get pre-approved, call that very same phone number. I'm attorney Justin Clark, and I'll see you back here next week for You Have Real Estate. Good job, guys.
Yay.
You Have Real Estate with attorney Justin Clark is sponsored by Margaritaville Cottages, Orlando.
Thank you so much for joining me here today on You Have Real Estate. But don't forget to check me out every weekday from 10 until noon over on our partners, the Florida Man Radio Network. I love seeing you on TV, but I look forward to talking to you on the radio here very soon.